Arizona votes.
I'm Martha Maurer from the KTAR Live Desk with the latest update on the midterm election 2018. Nearly a week after Arizonans went to the polls to cast their votes, we now have a winner in the U.S. Senate race in Arizona, and for the first time, it's been official, a woman going to D.C. representing Arizona, and that woman is Democrat Kyrsten Sinema. She defeated Martha McSally, Republican, in this very tight race that took us on a bit of a roller coaster since Election Day. On election night, Tuesday, November 6th, we all went to bed with knowing that Martha McSally was up about 17,000 votes over Sinema. But there were still many hundreds of thousands of votes left to be counted at that time. And day after day, all the counties had been reporting their votes that they had been counting since then. And last night, the Associated Press made it official, calling the race for the Democrat Kyrsten Sinema. This is the first time in about 30 years that a Democrat has taken that seat in the U.S. Senate to represent Arizona. And the very first time ever that a female is in that seat. So let me tell you a little bit more about how many votes separated the two. About 38,000 votes between Sinema and McSally as of Monday night. And there are still actually some votes to be counted, but yet the margin was big enough to elect Kyrsten Sinema as the next senator for the state of Arizona. And she's actually in Washington, D.C. right now as orientation for new senators has begun. The percentage of the votes between the two, Sinema defeated McSally with 49.68% of the vote. McSally took home nearly 48% of the vote. Now, McSally, shortly after the Associated Press called the race, took to Twitter alongside her dog Boomer. She posted a video conceding the race to Kyrsten Sinema, and here's what she had to say.
Hey everybody, I just called Kyrsten Sinema and congratulated her on becoming Arizona's first female senator after a hard-fought battle. I wish her all success as she represents Arizona in the Senate. And I also want to say thank you to everybody who supported me in this campaign, my staff and volunteers and everybody who voted for me. I'm so grateful for you as my wingmen and my wingwomen in this journey. We sure wish it came out with a different result, but I'm so thankful for you. As I traveled around this state, I was so inspired by the many people that I met. And I am convinced Arizona is the best state in the country, and our best days are still yet to come, and I'm going to continue to pray for our success. Thank you so much.
Kyrsten Sinema, of course, taking the seat of outgoing Senator Jeff Flake from Arizona, who will be finishing his term at the end of this year. Flake also took to social media to congratulate Sinema and to also praise McSally for a gracious concession speech. Now, shortly after she was declared the winner, Sinema spoke to her supporters and to all of Arizona in a speech that we carried live right here on KTAR. Here's a little bit about what she had to say and her praise to one former Senator, John McCain.
A few months ago, we lost a legend who exemplified that spirit and all that is best of Arizona. His example shines a light on our way forward. Senator John McCain stood for everything we stand for as Arizonans. Fighting for what you believe in, standing up for what's right even if you stand alone, and serving a cause that is greater than oneself. Senator McCain is irreplaceable, but his example will guide our next steps forward. He taught us to always assume the best in others, to seek compromise instead of sowing division, and to always put country ahead of party.
Governor Ducey also taking to social media to congratulate both women on their hard-fought campaigns. Of course, congratulating Kyrsten Sinema for winning the race and for her victory, as well as congratulating Martha McSally not only for her intense campaign as well, but because she represented Congressional District 2 of Arizona all this time, and also thanked her for her service to our military and for our country. After all the news of the race being called came on observance of Veterans Day, Martha McSally being an Air Force veteran. So there you have it, the two campaigns. We now have a winner. For the first time in 30 years, a Democrat is heading to Washington, D.C. to represent Arizona in the Senate. For the very first time, a woman is taking that seat. And of course, this campaign was mirrored with controversy, from political ads where record numbers of millions of dollars were spent from both camps, to attack ads that many considered potentially could have cost Martha McSally the race. And of course, it also came with a lawsuit where some GOP parties in counties in the state had sued over the way that votes were being tabulated. A settlement was reached earlier last week, allowing county recorders to continue tabulating, continue curing in mail-in ballots, and continue counting those votes. So all of that came as not only the U.S. Senate race was hotly contested from the very beginning, but another race that was also decided on Monday night was the race for the school's chief, superintendent of public instruction. Democrat Kathy Hoffman came on top in that race. It was a razor-thin margin from the very beginning, but she defeated Republican Frank Riggs. Kathy Hoffman, being a teacher who fought on the stance of the Red for Ed movement, and going off of that, she again defeated the Republican in this race. There is still one more race that at this time is still too close to call, and that is the race for Secretary of State. Now, earlier on, this race had been decided. However, many votes that are still yet to be tabulated, and as they've come in throughout the last few days, have shown a growing lead by the Democrat Katie Hobbs in that race. So we're still watching that very closely. Of course, you can tune into KTAR.com, KTAR News on the radio, 92.3 FM, and on the app to get the very latest on all of the election coverage, because even though the major race of U.S. Senate has been called, there's still one more left to go. And if you still want to get caught up on all the results from midterm election 2018 from November 6th, you can find all of that at KTAR.com. I'm Martha Maurer from the KTAR Live Desk.
I'm Bob McClay. Here's our top story.